All right, hello then. Welcome back to this edition, or welcome in general to 5 Round MMA. Guillermo's on his phone, going over the Twitter timeline. Albert's looking at something. I don't really look at.
Don't worry about what I look at.
I'm Alex
I'm looking up all the controversy.
I'm trying to keep the show together here, even though we just started. But we got an awesome show today. We got UFC 170. Hopefully, this show does not end prematurely,
And
or maybe,
or
it
all
might
the
end,
shenanigans.
or it might end right on time. Depending on your,
Bean's
on
not
your
here,
point of
so
view,
I don't
right?
think it's gonna end too fast.
Also, we have Meathook Kelly on the line later on today, so it should be a great show. But as for right now, let's play some buy or sell.
Yeah.
All right, so buy or sell, I'll just say something, and then whether or not they believe it or not believe it, or are going to buy some or partake in this.
Buying means I believe it.
Yeah.
Selling means I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so you guys ready?
Yeah.
First one, Ronda Rousey won on Saturday, right?
Yeah,
By
supposedly.
Early stoppage.
liver shot. Some are calling her because it's the fastest strike or women's TKO, fastest TKO in women's history. So buy or sell, Ronda Rousey is the best striker in women's MMA today.
I'm buying it. And just because what's the definition of striking? Does knees count as striking?
Oh yeah,
Sure.
Then yes. Until someone proves her otherwise, she is. I'm buying that she
well, not
is
the
the best.
UFC and MMA.
That's why I'm selling just because I do research.
I hope so. I would hope so.
Sarah Kaufman had literally 8 TKO or KO victories to start off her career.
Mm-hmm.
Her fastest one being in 17 seconds, TKO by punches. Her first fight ever was a KO in the 3rd round. I think that sounds better than one knee TKO, maybe it's early stoppage fight.
There you go.
So I'm selling it.
Second one, and UFC 170's co-main event. Daniel Cormier took care of business, completely manhandling Patrick Cummins. Buy or sell as Daniel Cormier as a legit light heavyweight contender.
I'm buying it 100%. Just the fact that he beat him in a minute proves a lot.
Yeah, but who did he beat though?
Yeah,
Patrick Cummins. Isn't
yeah, but I mean, he took it short notice. He didn't need anything else. What?
I'm buying it, and I'm going to make Alex eat his words because I directly quote him yesterday, Ollie the Trolley. He did exactly what he was supposed to do to nobody, just like you always said.
Mm-hmm.
You always say that all the time. He says, hey, you go like, he fought nobody, but he did what he was supposed to do,
Yeah.
right?
Well, I guess.
So I'm buying it.
I should have rephrased the question better. Like, after this win, should he go directly to the title shot?
Yeah,
or should he fight
of
somebody
course.
else?
I'm buying that. I'm
buying
buying
that
that
too.
He didn't
His
break a
next
sweat. He
his
didn't break a
next fight
sweat.
Should be against the winner of John Jones and Glover Teixeira.
Yes,
Really?
I'm buying it.
I
Okay.
would go so far as to pull Glover Teixeira out of the fight and put in Daniel Cormier.
Tell me to buy someone else in the light heavyweight division
For who to
besides Glover Teixeira and Johnny Bone Jones.
Alexander Gustafsson.
I'm selling that.
I don't know. I'm
Who's
half buying
who's
it.
Alexander Gustafsson fighting to deserve that title shot?
Well, he was supposed to fight John Jones again, right? But John Jones took away. He was too scared to fight him, so he's fighting up and coming guy that we're supposed to.
It's someone he's
fear.
supposed to be taken
Yeah.
care of.
Anyways,
Exactly.
Whatever. Okay, next one. Main event UFC 170 was in some eyes prematurely stopped. Some said it was a right stop. But again, the man in the center of the controversy is Herb Dean once again. After Saturday night, is Herb Dean still the best referee in MMA? Buy or sell?
I'm selling it because I never thought he was the best referee to begin with. That was a comment made by Dana White, and Dana White's the only one that thinks that
people
is.
agree with them.
And I'm buying. To me, Herb Dean is one of the best referees in the UFC. He had one bad call.
It's back to back. You're at Faber, and now this one. And if you look at other previous fights, I mean, it's a trend that he does stop the fights a little bit too early.
Well, I want to see the stats on those trends, but to me, I think Herb Dean always does a very good job. He steps in when he needs to, except for
when a guy has his thumbs up, that's a good time to stop the fight.
he had a couple slip-ups, but I still consider him one of the best.
A couple of slip-ups in the
We're all
big
human.
title fight.
We're all human.
Yeah, but I mean, like a couple of
And they're
slip-ups
both
in title
they're both
fights.
championship fights.
The fact that he's getting championship fights, that should prove a lot too.
Well, I don't know. I think we should look into the question how referees are assigned these
days.
these fights and like.
Well, that'll be from the Las Vegas Commission, not Dana White.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Supposedly.
reputation. All right. Also, this one's gonna be near and dear to both of you guys' heart. Rory MacDonald came back and won a fight of the night performance against Damian Maia. Buy or sell, is Rory Mac back?
I'm buying twice. I'm gonna buy it twice.
You 2 for 1 or what?
Yep. I told you, Roy Mac is the future. I really do think he needed that loss from Robbie Lawler to get back to the old way he fought. I still see some stuff he can clean up, which is always a good thing, to tell you the truth, because if he's that good now and he still has a little bit of hiccups, imagine when he fixes those hiccups, how good he really will be.
And I'm just going to get Albert mad. I'm selling. Roy McDonald showed that against Robbie Lawler that maybe he's not good in the spotlight.
Has he peaked already? Is this like? The
And
best?
I think, and that's my other thing. And
You
maybe
keep
he
saying
just
he's
peaked already.
working
Maybe
on it.
there's
I
no
think-
more
I think
improvement.
he's close
He
of
is who he
peaking.
is.
Yeah.
No, I think
his
he's
fighting
close
style.
to
He is who he is,
peaking.
right?
Yeah, his fighting style is set. Have you really seen any different improvement? Any more of his game? Obviously, right now you just mentioned that there's holes in his game.
Well, he added the jab, which he never did before.
Wasn't he always trying to work the jab?
Yeah,
But now it's perfect.
who did he fight with, before Robbie Lawler, who won the jab? Remember, people
It
were
was
telling-
Jake
people were-
Jake
Ellenberger.
Ellenberger.
Your boy-
Yeah,
your
people
boy
were
Jake
telling
The
him
jab
to
was
go
there.
apart.
The jab was there. So come on,
You gotta perfect it,
you can't
bro.
sell me on a jab. So I'm selling.
Can't sell
I'm
him on a
selling
jab.
on Ryan McDonald.
Quote of the day: can't sell me on a jab.
That's a pretty good quote.
Yeah, that's a pretty good quote. All right, that's it for today. For this edition of Buy or Sell, coming up, we got Caitlin Meathook Kelly on the line. So stick around, guys.
Please visit 5roundmma.com on our social media on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. 5roundmma.com.
All right, joining us now on the 5-round MMA hotline is Julie and Caitlin Meathook Kelly. How you guys doing?
Great. How are you?
Good. I want to thank you two for taking the time to speak with us. Really appreciate it.
Thank you for having us on.
Yeah. So I want to. The typical 9-year-old girl doesn't really involved in the stuff you are involved. So can you tell the audience what Meathook does on a weekly basis?
Go ahead. You can. I'm 11. I just turned 11.
Oh, 11. Oh, yeah. Sorry.
That's okay. She's just like, I'm 11. And she just turned 11 in February. So, she's excited about being 11. So tell them about what you do. What do you do? I do mixed martial arts and the Okay. You're fine. And she does jiu-jitsu and mixed martial arts. She does no-gi and gi. And she's an all-around fighter. She loves to do all of it.
And then, how did you decide to put her in jiu-jitsu instead of doing a traditional sports? What led you to pick this in particular sport?
She'll tell you. Go ahead, tell her. How did you find out about it? My brother saw a commercial for school. And my brother signed up actually before me. And when I saw the punches, kicks, and the moves, I want to get out there. And my mom said, do it. She was about 6 years old, and she fell in love with it. And I just saw she is a child that has dyslexia. She's not really speaking until she was about 5 years old, and even then it was rough for other people to hear her. Mm-hmm. And I watched her confidence soar. She started competing, and she was winning. And even when she wasn't winning, she was smiling, and she was happy. And I looked at that and thought, you know what, I don't care if it's a typical girl thing to do. If it makes my child have confidence and build my child's confidence, that's where she needs to be.
Yeah, can you speak about the just how martial arts can help anybody find the inner confidence inside of them? That's something like a typical team sport might not be able to unleash on a person.
Well, I think part of what it is with her is that what I saw was the fact that she was very dependent on me, on mommy. Mm-hmm. I was her voice. I was, if she couldn't get a point across, I would tell it for her. And it gave her that confidence to step out there and to be on her own. And, sure, mom's still right there rooting her on, cheering her on, watch her. I love watching her do what she does. But she had to go out there. She had to be the one to do it. And when she has been bullied, as a matter of fact, when she was 9, she was bullied by a 10 or 11-year-old girl. And she stood up for herself. And she was very, no one had to do anything for Colleen. Colleen had the confidence to say, no, it's not okay. And to stand up for herself and to defend herself when she needed to. And it's given her that kind of confidence.
Hi, Julie. This is Guillermo. Just speaking on bullying, how did you get involved with RMA now that you spoke on bullying a little bit?
It was absolutely exciting. We did a probably watched it. Go ahead. Did the interview with Miss Stacy. We did an interview with Miss Stacy, and Mr. Mark contacted us from RMA, and he heard her story, and he heard how she, the things that she had been through, and we pride ourselves on our children being polite, respectful, and she's always cared about other people. She is a defender of the underdog because she knows what it feels like.
Mm-hmm.
And they contacted us, and they're such an amazing organization, and they're doing such wonderful things. And it fits right in with what she believes in. And, you know, her first thing is always to say, stop, you know, don't bully. As a matter of fact, my other daughter is in gymnastics. And last week, there's a young boy that's a gymnast, and he was being picked on. And Colleen walked over and said, that's not okay. We don't say things like that. And she took it to hand, and she told them, we don't do this. We don't pick on other people. And I was real proud of her because she could have just sat back and let that situation go because it didn't involve her. And that's what I love about RMA. It's showing how these kids who they act like, you know, people think because she's, you know, this little girl who's been doing it all the time, and she kicks and she punches and she does jiu-jitsu and she submits people, that she's a bully. Far from it. She's totally the opposite.
Yeah, and that Go ahead.
And I had my RMA T-shirt on, and these kids were asking, "What is that for?" And I said, "Stand up for bullying." Rise up to get bullying. That's great.
There you go. I'm sure. I know Mark is completely happy to have you as a junior ambassador for RMA. But I also want to ask you guys the nickname of Meathook. How did that come about?
Well, my coach gave me the nickname because my hook punch. My hook punch. It's
okay.
really powerful. My grips are really powerful, and she's got strong, meaty hands. And her instructors feel, and most of them will tell that if she hits you with a hook, you're gonna know it. I don't care how old you are.
Julia, do you like? Has it been kind of weird having people call your daughter Meathook now?
It's so funny because actually we find ourselves in the house calling her by that more than her you know, God-given her given name. We actually call her Meathook more. I'll be looking across somewhere and Meathook, get over here. And people will look at me like I'm crazy.
And then
it's so much fur.
Oh, sorry. And then real quick, there's also a negative view when it comes to mixed martial arts because a lot of people say it's a combat sport and it's actually more dangerous than to say like soccer or even football. Can you let us know actually how safe it really is and how injuries doesn't really plague as much as they do in other traditional sports?
It's absolutely not. It is so less dangerous. It's unbelievable. My daughter is fully protected, and the referees that do any of the matches, I don't care if it's kickboxing, if it's grappling, they are right there. Actually, as a matter of fact, we've had referees that have tapped her who have known her for years and know that she can fight out of things, and they're like, nope, it doesn't look good to me, she's tapped. And that's fine with us. And as long as I think the parents respect the referees and realize, and it's hard sometimes with your kid and you know they could have gotten out of something, but you have to also realize that, hey, there's another day to fight. You know, she wants this as a career. She doesn't want this as a short-term thing. So I'd rather her, you know, not even take the chance. And they don't take chances. They're very well protected. As a matter of fact, the more little accidental injuries that she's had have been outside of the sport. Running in my yard.
As a typical kid.
Running in the kitchen with water. And I slipped on my wrist. So I don't think she has ever been hurt in any kind of training or any kind of sparring or any of that at all. So it's really, to me, it just is a joke when people say something like that because it's one of the safer sports. If they even look up the statistics, they'll find that injuries to these children is very minimal, if non-existent.
Yeah.
And then real quick, can you just let us know a little bit the future plans that you have for your daughter?
Well, they're her plans, and actually, why don't you tell them, what do you want to do with this? I want to go into the UFC.
Oh, wow.
And on my own gym
wow.
That's what she wants to do with it, and we are so behind her 100%. We're very proud of her. She's very committed. She loves what she does, and as long as she's as positive as she is, we love it.
Okay.
So.
Now, Meathook, do you have a favorite? Like, do you prefer jiu-jitsu over the stand-up, or do you like all mix it all together?
I like kickboxing better
than jiu-jitsu right now, but she loves them both. I mean, if there's a chance to compete in anything, she wants to do it. So.
Before we let you guys go, do you have any upcoming tournaments you want to let us know about and stuff like that, or just a daily and weekly practice going on right now?
She has two coming. There's one March 8th, and then one 2 weeks from that on the weekend. She has two grappling tournaments coming up. She has a Copa America, and she has a new breed coming up.
Wow.
And then in July is for big kickboxing with the International Kickboxing Federation. She should also be competing in that as well.
Oh, wow. Now, one more question before I let you go, Julie. I know since you've been doing this since she was younger, have you seen the growth in the recent years of parents and kids allowing their children to enter combat sports?
Yes, I've seen a very good growth, a very positive growth, and I've seen more girls, which is very exciting for us because it doesn't matter whether it's a boy or girl. She'll compete against anybody, but it's always nice, and she loves getting to be around other girls that do the same thing and that have similar. She's made a lot of very close friends. She's got friends in South Carolina that she FaceTimes, I think is what it's called, with them. And she loves it, and they've become very good friends, even though they'll step in the ring and compete. Afterwards, they're back making bracelets on the phone together.
That's great stuff. So we'll let both of you guys go. I want to thank you again for taking the time to speak with us. Julie Kelly and, of course, RMA Junior Ambassador Meathook Kelly, thank you very much for speaking with us. Really appreciate it.
Excuse me, can I give shout-outs to my sponsor?
Yes,
Yeah.
Of course. Go ahead.
Future Fighters, Fighter Girls, Delicious, RMA, Impact Custom Mouth Guard, and
Doc Howie and Zionics. She has a hard time saying Zionics.
Yeah, I would too, actually. All right, it's awesome stuff. Julie Kelly and Meathook Kelly, I want to thank you guys again for taking the time to speak with us. Really appreciate it.
Thank you for having us.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Please visit 5roundmma.com on our social media on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. 5roundmma.com.
All right, welcome back. Now we are going to dive into UFC 170. I know we talked about some topics earlier, but I want to talk about the card as a whole. One of the things that stuck out to me was that the runtime of it was under 2 hours, I think?
Yeah,
and no filler fights.
No
either.
filler fights, so it just went straight through.
I like that though. I mean, I hate when there is filler fights. I think sometimes it drags on a little bit too long.
Yeah.
So
I mean, so you would rather pay like $55 for
no,
an hour?
I want my whole money's worth. But
Yeah.
I mean, I'm saying sometimes you're waiting for that main event and then you have those filler fights and then it's like, oh man.
Yeah. So I mean, so do you agree with that? Like, do you want the whole like? Remember, we're gonna go back to where I was going back to wrestling. I mean, you're gonna pay $50, but you're guaranteed 3 hours of entertainment, right? Where boxing and mixed martial, I guess, because it's unexpected that you're gonna get maybe an hour and a half of stuff, right?
I think there's two things to play. Last event went pretty long because they all went to decision.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people complain because it went too long.
Uh-huh.
I think when it comes to MMA, I think time should never matter just because you want to see all the fights, no matter how exciting or boring they're going to be, you still pay to see the fights, regardless of the outcome. While in pro wrestling, I better see a good 30-minute match, or I'm walking.
That's a good point. Yeah, I guess it makes me wonder like how like UFC can continue along with the pay-per-view route. You know what I mean? WWE
is going to destroy them.
Who basically created the pay-per-view format.
I was going to bring this up at the end of the segment, but since you brought it up now, WWE Network launches on Monday. So when you're watching this, go on WWE.com. Go ahead and sign up for WWE Network. It's awesome. You get all the pay-per-views.
But the commercial came up on Raw, and then on the bottom it said a little claimer. It said for the first 6 months, or if you're signed up for the 6 months, you get it $10 a month. Yeah. I don't know how much it jumps if it does jump. After those 6 months.
You have to do a six month commitment, but which
Which is no
I have no problem because.
But what happens after
'cause
those 6
people out
months? That's
there
my
are
question.
scared of commitment and they need to commit and stick with WWE.
Tell you the truth, I've had a 27-year commitment to WWE already, so
Yeah,
let's
there we
talk
go.
about 6 months,
Well,
right?
it's the same thing with Amazon Prime. If you get Amazon, you have to do a year commitment to get the lockdown that good price,
Oh, okay.
which is cheaper than Netflix if you do the math.
Yeah, okay.
But enough
Come on,
plugins
do the
over
math.
there. But
The plugins of people who don't pay us.
yeah,
All right. So besides, one point I want to bring up is people.
what were we talking about?
A lot of people on Twitter were saying, "Oh, the fight's over. That's it. What am I gonna do now?" But I thought maybe 2 hours for $55 dollars is.
To me, it was perfect. I actually saw the fights at Dave and Buster's, another place that doesn't pay us.
Stop naming names. Just say you went out and saw it.
Oh, I saw it. But anyways, it was free, so I appreciate that. I only ordered a couple beers, so at least I know in the back of my head that I still didn't give Dana White my full money of $60. So I felt good because I wasn't trying to buy these Wolf tickets.
Exactly. We talked
The
about
thing
earlier.
is, about being Wolf tickets, the Daniel Cormier,
You bring up some good points on the break about Daniel Cormier and because Albert's going over the pay figures, right?
Yeah. And it says right here, Dan Cormier was actually the highest paid guy in the whole card with $160,000.
And I
Scarbo said,
Of course, he's gonna take this fight on a short notice, and he knew he was gonna get someone not to his caliber because he wants to get paid the $160,000. Why would you work hard not to get free, or not, I wouldn't say free, but not work
pretty
as
much.
hard for
It was pretty
$160,000? Had he postponed to the next pay per view, like Dana White said, you're gonna get a harder opponent,
yeah.
and you're not gonna get. I mean, I don't know if that's the guarantee money that he's gonna make regardless. So
He just wanted a payday quicker and get a little easier.
Yeah.
Paycheck.
But the good thing, you didn't get injured or anything like that. So
Yeah.
technically, he could just jump back in.
Now that we're all, the dust is settled with the Cormier fight, and we all saw the pre-fight press conference where he pushed him. Are we pretty much sure that's this?
No, they were all Wolf tickets.
It was all.
Oh, yeah, I
just,
think
just
they're
a big
buddies.
show. It was no.
no, I think they're buddies
animosity.
backstage.
But if he would have let Vince McMahon get a hold of this fight,
Yeah.
he would have sold you a WrestleMania pay-per-view caliber
This
fight
would
here.
have been Buck's main event, right?
Dana White would just show me that he really isn't the best promoter that he thinks he is.
So I also will jump to the main event, the big controversy.
The liver kicks.
Well, actually, before we go to big commentary, I just to mention that Stephen
Oh,
Thompson.
oh,
Rory
man, I
Mc-
knew
Rory
this was
McDonald,
coming.
Stephen
what?
Thompson.
No,
No,
about
Stephen
Rory
Thompson won last night. Amazing knockout. This makes it his third straight fight after losing to Matt Brown. So he's back on the winning track, I think. And remember,
He lost to Matt Brown. That tells you everything.
I'm pretty sure if he fights Matt Brown again,
That's
it won't
kinda
go.
true.
It won't go down like that. But he's a 3-fight win streak, and I really do think that 2014 is gonna be his year. So watch out for Stephen Thompson.
Also, Alexis Davis might have solidified herself as the next contender to Ronda Rousey if she's still around and not making movies. By the time they're ready to fight, she defeated Jessica Ai by a split decision. Now,
Even though I thought Jessica I won that fight. Such
but yeah,
as
but
one.
her last 2 wins are against Liz Carmouche, former title contender, and
Kamoosh.
And this guy was this is kind of almost a title eliminator now, so it looks like Alexis Davis might be next in line. But you made a point that she actually lost to Sarah Kaufman, right?
Yeah, Sarah Kaufman actually knocked her out.
So do you
Yeah.
think Sarah Kaufman
I think it
deserves a rematch?
Well,
Sarah,
think of
Sarah Kaufman
how
did lose
recent-
to Ronda Rousey, but I think a lot of things took into play in that fight, and I really think looking back on it, I think Sarah Kaufman will do better if she was given another chance. And she actually lost. It was a decision win, not by not, but yeah, I think Sarah Kaufman deserves another
I think-
opportunity. She her last fight she got a no contest against Jessica Ai.
yeah, it was turned to no contest.
Yeah.
because Jessica.
I think
Ai
a
fell.
rematch, Sarah Kaufman and Ronda Rousey makes sense, and it'll be kind of expected from the MMA crowd, but from the mass crowd, that doesn't watch MMA so closely,
Yeah.
they're not gonna be bought on these tickets
Well,
again.
maybe Alexis Davis versus Sarah Kaufman, and then winner of their fights, Ronda Rousey, gives
Yeah.
her enough time to go do her movie.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we're also I think
And
forgetting
then you
about,
also have
Kat
Kat
Zingano.
Zingano.
So I think right now it's probably between Alexis Davis and Kat Zingano. Depends if
Yeah.
Kat Zingano can recover in time. But sticking with the women's MMA and UFC, the main event was Sarah McMann against Ronda Rousey was, in some people's eyes, a controversial stoppage. Rousey landed a knee to the liver. McMahon fell hard. She fell hard, right?
Yeah,
She fell hard. It seems that Herb Dean stepped in right away before she could recover.
Like as soon as she fell, Herb Dean seemed to step right in.
So in your eyes, was it an early stoppage?
Big time.
Big time?
Well, first of all, it's to me, would a liver kick get you unconscious?
No, but it hurts like a
No,
mother.
no, but that's my point. So
Like a mother.
I'm pretty sure she knows what's going on even after a liver kick. So I
Yeah.
mean, like I'm pretty sure she can react.
Yeah.
I mean, had Herb Dean let it gone on a little bit more, and she would have got punches
I'm
to the head.
The more I saw it, I go back to how McMahon fell. She fell nasty, and all it took was Rousey's a couple more punches to the head and could have stopped. So I'm in the position Herb Dean stopped it. So
Yeah, I think he stopped
I
it
agree
too
with the
early.
stoppage, but
But I just want to.
But I mean, like you said, our liver kicks really like because it looked nasty how she fell. But I mean, like we've seen liver kicks in the past with Brock Lesnar, but they always led to liver kicks plus punches at the end.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'll let Albert take over for that.
But was Rousey's punches afterwards? Were they enough to call the fight?
No, I don't think so. Not at all. But I do want to make one clear mention in like statement is that people. I think referees also forget that it's a championship fight.
Mm-hmm.
And a
I
championship.
don't think so.
No,
I mean, they got Bruce Buffer's like 10-minute announcement for the title, reigning defending.
And I'll tell you why.
It's a big deal.
You as an MMA fighter, this is literally as good as it gets.
Uh-huh.
There's nothing after this. This is what you led the whole career, your whole life to get, and yet you're gonna get not. I mean, I think you can ask any MMA fighter, and they'll tell you, I'd rather take those extra punches to know that I literally got every chance in the world to try to prove myself rather than something like this. And it's a champion. I mean, literally, believe it or not, McMahon, this is what she strived for her whole career, her whole thing. At least give her 5 more punches to the face or something. Give me at least, you know,
the way you put it. I know it's true, but the way it sounds.
You work,
Let me give you 5 more punches.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying, you work your whole life. You want to at least know that you were given every chance in the world to try to achieve what you set out to do.
It all goes to like how are these referees trained? Are they trained to teach?
And see, I don't think that's in Herb Dean's mind when he's watching.
Is every
fights.
fight just a fight for them, or is they like, oh, this is a main event fight? I better.
That's how I think. But that's how I think they should approach it, though. Like when it's a championship fight. But with that said, Brock Lesnar got a vicious knee by Officer Overeem, and he got super paralyzed. He turned into the little ball. And then
but it was still like what 5 or 6 more punches. Then they called the fight.
Clearly punched him. And
Cowboy Cerrone lost to Anthony Pettis, liver kick, but
not right away.
It was punches afterwards that called
that called. Yeah, he actually had to fall all the way back, and then he got the punches on him. And then another one was Travis Brownie, who came back. Remember, also landed that vicious kick, and then he actually landed some punches. Yeah, he was blocking, but there were no contest punches. But he was allowed to recover from it.
Also, recently, Eric Silva had a very vicious kick to the midsection, but it was the punches afterwards.
Yeah, that finished off.
The fight.
After that liver kick, what's his name? Soto?
And it was almost replicated because
he reached for his leg to try to wrestle, and then that's
and
when
McMahon, when she fell, literally 2 seconds, she went for the leg. So,
well, I mean,
all I'm saying is a championship fight. You got a little.
Yeah, but I mean, Rousey wins again. She shows her diversity in stand up now. Do you think now she's a dangerous stand up now? I mean, or should armbar or nothing?
I still think it's the armbar or nothing. We saw it with Misha Tate. I mean, like Misha Tate
lightning never strikes twice.
Well, I'm just saying, her striking game, I need to see more.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think hopefully we'll see more.
Yeah, hopefully we see more.
I mean, because like honestly, a person.
Because I really want to see a Cyborg versus Rousey. That would really test her striking.
Oh, speaking of Cyborg, did you hear? It might happen now because Tito Ortiz sent this long letter out to one of the websites saying that he is no longer representing Cyborg, saying that he feels that he doesn't want his relationship with Dana White hurting her for the career.
And as soon as that happens, Dana White now considers it as long as Chris Cyborg can fight at 135 and gets a couple wins. He said so.
Yeah, so
there you go.
If she wants to, but I think love her or hate her, Ronda Rousey is good for the sport of mixed martial arts. I mean, a figure who can brings this much emotion out of people. I love her head. I mean, you want this.
I think the decision or the way that the fight ended, it actually hurts her even more.
Well, that's a good thing because now people either support her more or people hate her more. Yeah. So I mean, if you guys hear the boos afterwards, you couldn't even hear an interview where the boos were so loud. So I mean, a person like this, you need a good heel. No matter what.
That's true.
Go back to wrestling again, but you need a good heel. And then we're just waiting for the face to come and knock her off, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's it for today.
Real quick, Johnny Hathaway fights next week.
But the
next 2 events are gonna be on the Fight Pass. Not good enough, Dana White. Not good enough like WWE Network. So I still need to see more. To jump on the wagon. Right now, I'll just stick to my.
And then Hogan's gonna make his appearance on Raw on Monday.
Oh yeah. You just spoiler alert. Really? This is not the dirt sheets, bro. I don't like to do these spoilers.
I thought we were under the pressure that this show was completely kayfabe, right?
We kayfabe today. Well, since the cat's out of the bag, yes. Undertaker's supposed to show up. So is Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan for sure is supposed to show up on Raw leading up to WrestleMania, and Undertaker's about to make his appearance pretty soon.
So is it Sting gonna show up pretty soon or what?
Yeah.
Steven?
Rumors say yes.
Says.
Rumors say yeah.
Okay.
All right, before we go, we gotta find out who today's top-rated star was. Brought to you by Top-Rated MMA, makers of 100% American-made MMA apparel. Go shop topratedmma.com to follow them on Twitter at topratedmma. All of the choice. Who was today's top-rated star? Albert.
Yes. Two
How?
in a row.
Two
I'm
for
the
two.
Can you
two-time
explain
champion.
how
The
he...
first
You
two.
don't make no facts, bro. That's
Make
see,
no
look. Laptop, you don't. You don't bring no facts, bro.
You don't speak no truth.
Yeah. The truth hurts, I'm telling you.
Oh, my goodness.
Albert, 2 for 2, the first 2 winners of the top-rated stars of the show. So I want to thank the rest of our sponsors, Redemption Martial Arts. Go follow them. Go to redemptionmartialarts.com and follow them on Twitter and go see how you can get involved in the movement to stop bullying. I want to thank Meathook Kelly, junior ambassador for RMA, and her mother, Julie Kelly, for the awesome interview. Even though I messed up on her age, she's 11, not 9.
Get it right.
Yeah, I know. Get it right. I get my facts now. No wonder I didn't win the top-rated star of the day. Also, I want to thank the Madhouse clothing line, clothes for the fighter and fight fanatic. Go shop themadhouse.com and follow them on Twitter at the Madhouse MMA. And hashtag MMA against bullying for your chance to win a t-shirt. So you got to follow the Madhouse, follow us, follow RMA, and hashtag MMA against bullying, and you'll be entered to win a t-shirt. And also want to must also follow us on Twitter at 5roundmma. Subscribe to us on iTunes and YouTube. Check us out on Facebook. Follow us on Instagram. And check out overtimedansoda.com to read our weekly articles, editorials, commentaries, stuff that we had no time on the show to talk about. We write it down and send it over at overtime.com. So that's it.
Yeah, we're real quick. I'm buying on the Clippers signing big Glenn Davis, big baby.
Well, Lakers got to win against the Celtics, so I'm pretty happy.
Yeah, I know.
But anyways, I think our executive producer, Guillermo Cita, our engineer, Ollie the Trolley, our sound engineer, Steven, with Roswell Rock. I was about to say Steven Records, which that doesn't sound that bad either, Steven. I kind of like it. But with Roswell Records, thanks everybody for listening. Go check out WWE Network. It's going to be awesome.
It's enough with the WWE Network.
And cream of the crop.